Hello everybody. There we go, that's better. For some reason the first attempt I just did, it wouldn't let me have it horizontal. So hello, welcome to Lil Explorers. I'm Heather, and hello to our replay viewers and our YouTube viewers. Apologies for the lighting as usual. I get a lot of east sun from that window and my curtains are green, so if I close them then everything is just green, and so I'd rather leave it really bright, so sorry about that. But today's theme is art. Once again, we're going to expand on what we did in Nighttime Tales, and we've got a couple great books, and then we're going to explore some museums from the comfort of our own home. So we'll talk more about that when we get there. But basically there's a bunch of art museums and other sorts of things that have online tours, so they're all linked on our website at strathmorelibrary.ca, so that's what we're gonna do. Carolyn says we like it bright. Thanks, Carolyn. I like it bright too, just as long as I'm not like a complete ghost. I'm almost turning into my white background. I was trying to get Pippin over here, but she's just not in the mood today, so maybe I'll go harass her even more. Let's see. I'll cover this up and go find Pippin, and then we'll get started. Where are you? Come here. Good girl. Come in here. Come on. Here she comes. Come on, Pippin. Are you a tired puppy today? I think she is a tired puppy. Pippin, can you sit? Pippin. Not in the mood. Anyways, here we're gonna flip that background for a second. You can see I use a giant dictionary as my tripod, or to prop my phone up. There, she tried to run away and I just grabbed her. Sit. Good girl. She's being camera shy and just shy. I'm tired. Alright, we're gonna sing our hello song to get started. I've jabbered long enough already. So our hello song for this morning is Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee. So I'm going to clap along and then we'll all shout out our names when I tell you to, alright? So get your clapping hands ready. Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, won't you say your name for me? Hi, I'm Heather. And then we all say, and that's a wonderful name. Now we'll do it for everybody watching. So you shout out your name. If you've got a sibling there with you, both of you shout it out at the same time. Here we go. Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, won't you say your name for me? Shout out your names. Nice to have you all here. And that's a wonderful name. All right, we're gonna start with our first book, which is called The Magical Garden of Claude Monet. And let me flip this around so the text isn't backwards for our book. And I've completely forgot to set up my live view on the laptop, so apologies. Hopefully I stay in frame. I changed locations last minute. I was going to sit up at the desk, but it was even brighter, so now I'm sitting down on the floor, and I don't have my yoga mat here, so I'm on the hard floor. The struggles of Friday mornings, but we're all doing good. This is by Lawrence and Holt. I wish we had a garden, said Julie. She looked down at the drab river which ran through the city. Even Louis the Greyhound was bored with being inside. As soon as I have finished this painting, said Julie's mother, I'll take you on a journey to the most wonderful garden in the world. It belongs to my old friend, the painter, Claude Monet. They took a big black train beside the twisting river. Far out of the the city. So Julie's feeling a bit like us right now, stuck in home. But they're going on an adventure. And into the countryside. Look, there's the greyhound. Louis began to run down the hill and into a lane where a huge wall stood around a mysterious garden. "Stop, Louis," called Julie, but it was too late. Louis had gone. Julie didn't know what to do. She got down on her hands and knees and wriggled inside. So see this magnificent garden here, and Louis climbed through the hole in the fence, and so she followed him. Let's see. It was like crawling into a dreamy world where twisting plants grew tall as trees. Julie ran around a corner and almost knocked over a big man with a spade. The man wore a straw hat and a huge white beard. "Oh," said Julie, "I'm looking for my dog. Are you the gardener?" "I suppose I am," said the man. "Come and look." That's nice. He welcomed her into the garden, even though she basically snuck right in. "One day these tiny seedlings will grow into big flowers, but a gardener has to be very patient, just like a painter." Then Julie realized, "You are Claude Monet," she gasped. "Yes," laughed the old man, "I am Claude Monet." Together they searched for Louis along the shady path, deeper and deeper into the magical garden, until it seemed as if they had left the real world behind. So Claude Monet is a very well-known painter, an impressionist painter who does lots of landscapes and floral paintings. So he uses his garden as inspiration. I don't think he's still around today, but I'm not actually sure. I don't think so. Under a willow, Julie saw Monet's umbrella like a huge white mushroom, and there was Louis. He had a blue nose, a purple ear, and one green paw. "Naughty dog," shouted Julie. "You've walked all over Monet's paints." "I think your dog wants to be a painter," laughed Monet. "Look, he made a picture too." Then Julie saw Monet's paintings laid out in the sun to dry. Clouds floating on a mirror pond, a field of golden haystacks, a row of wispy poplars, a little Japanese bridge. The brush marks glowed like flowers in a garden. And here's Louis' painting as well. They turned the handle on a rickety gate and stepped inside. It was like a garden inside a garden, a wild, wet, watery garden where willows bowed over a silent pool. Together they crossed the green bridge. So this looks much like one of Monet's paintings. I think, yeah, this one here, little Japanese bridge. So, looks like we found his inspiration here. Looks very beautiful. Ooh, look at this page. Wow. When they rowed across the pond, it felt like floating in Mr. Monet's paintings. Look at that fold out. That's really cool. I hope I have it in screen. But there they are, rowing through one of his paintings. Julie heard the splash of the oars and birds calling in the trees. All around them, lilies sparkled like a midnight sky. When they reached the very middle of the pool, Monet stretched into the dark water and pulled out one flower, the biggest lily of all, as bright as a silver star. "A little present from my water garden," he said. So here they are on the pond. There's the bridge in the distance and them in their rowboat. And Monet is giving her a big, beautiful water lily. That's so nice. They walked back toward the house, and Monet pushed open a huge studio door. "Here is my biggest idea of all," he said proudly. "I am trying to paint the most enormous water garden in the world. When you stand in the middle, you will feel as if you have dived into a pool." "It will be amazing," said Julie. For a moment, Monet looked sad. "But, to tell the truth, I wonder if I will ever finish," he said. "I'm old now and my eyesight is bad." Julie thought for a moment. "You will need to be very patient," she said, "like a gardener." Yes, he smiled, just like a gardener. Then Claude Monet pulled out a big watch. 6 o'clock precisely, he said. Time to eat. So here's his big room that he's painting to make it look like a pond all the way around in his big old house here. Waiting in the yellow dining room, surrounded by pictures from Japan, sat Mrs. Monet and Julie's mother. "Here are your little runaways," said Monet. So the mom finally caught up. Julie's got her water lily on the table. Looks like Louis is eating some bread off the table. They're not being the best dinner guests, are they? But looks like fun. Then it was time to leave. Monet walked with them as far as the river. Louis wanted to say goodbye too, but as he jumped up, Julie's beautiful lily went flying into the water. "Oh, Louis," shouted Julie, "that was a special lily." They took the train back to the city, and even Louis was tired. The garden seemed like a distant dream. Look at that beautiful sunset. Very beautiful. But in the middle of the night, Julie heard Louis whining to go outside. She tiptoed through the apartment. Beneath the balcony, something was sparkling on the river. Julie ran outside and stretched into the dark water. She pulled out a lily, as bright as a silver star. "Perhaps it's a little present from the water garden," she whispered. And as the city slept, she breathed in the sweet smell of the magical garden of Claude Monet. There they are with the lily that came back. And here's some information about Monet. So he was born in 1840, so he's not still around. He always preferred to paint outdoors, and was often described as the father of Impressionism. So Impressionism is a style that isn't as realistic as some styles. It's more using smaller strokes to get the scene of what you're painting. Let's see, anything else we want to share? So Julie, the girl in this story, is based on a real-life girl named Julie, who was the daughter of great impressionist Berthe Morisot. Julie's mother and Monet were great friends and owned several of Berthe's paintings. That's pretty cool. You can still visit the magical garden of Claude Monet, just 1 hour by train along the river from Paris. And visitors can see the yellow dining room and the huge studio that the 76-year-old artist built for his last great masterpiece, the circular water lily series. You can wander the Japanese bridge and see the water lilies. That's really cool. I had no idea. I might have to go visit someday. So that is all about Claude Monet, who is one of our awesome artists. And the next book we're going to read is Anna at the Art Museum. I think we will get started with that right away. If you need to stretch, let's just get up and stretch. Reach up high, and we'll touch our toes. And we'll do a little squat, stick our arms out. There we go. That's a good stretch. Okay, next we're going to read Anna at the Art Museum. And then we're going to virtually visit a museum. This is written by Hazel Hutchins and Gail Herbert, illustrated by Lil Crump. Anna was not happy. Everything at the art gallery seemed old and boring. And there she is, pouting on the couch. Anna would have to entertain herself. "Roar," she said to the lion. "Quiet, please," said the attendant. There's the lion. She's hopping off the couch where she was sitting. Here we go. "Peekaboo," she whispered to the baby. "Careful," said the attendant. Oh no, she's knocking over a vase. Not good. When Anna carefully lifted her foot onto something that looked like it was for children, the attendant shook his head no and pointed to the sign. "Attention, do not touch." That does look much like a playground, doesn't it? But it's an art sculpture that she's not supposed to climb. Over here we've got a school tour going on. Someone else is chasing their little toddler. So Anna and her mother had a talk. It was one they'd had earlier, but perhaps Anna had not listened quite as closely as she should have. No shouting, no running, no climbing, no touching. After that, Anna pretended she was a small bush in a forest of trees. One of the trees swayed to the side. There was something interesting beyond. Anna moved closer and closer. There's a couple different tree paintings. There's another one. And what's cool is in the back of this book we've got more information on all of the paintings that are featured here, so that's pretty cool. Anna didn't know paintings could have alarms. She touched it and the alarm went off. Oh no, bing, bing, bing. Everyone turned and stared. Anna quickly ran away. Yeah, you're really not supposed to touch the paintings, and in a museum, some very important paintings or very expensive paintings do have alarms that will go off if you touch them. So that is not good. Here is the painting, The Scream, and the attendant is making the same face. He's very shocked. On the second floor, Anna found a window nook while her mother looked at paintings. Anna gazed longingly out at the street and the harbor beyond. If only the museum could be turned inside out, or the world outside in. She's looking out the window at the harbor, but check out this painting. It looks just like that view, doesn't it? And here, I don't know about that one, but this one is definitely one of Claude Monet's, who we talked about in this book. So you can see the bridge is on both of those. In the next gallery, she pulled out her snack. But why was the attendant looking at her that way? "Are you hungry?" she asked. "We can share." He was not hungry. "No eating," he said with a firm voice. She could only drink at the water fountain in the hall. Lots of rules in the museum, isn't there? And then she saw the half-open door. When a door is half open, it is very hard not to wonder what lies on the other side. Anna cautioned her mother softly. "No entry means we aren't allowed." "But," Anna began. Once again, the attendant was walking toward her. This time, however, he surprised her. "It's not busy today. They might let you in. Would you like me to ask?" She's getting to go in the special door. It was like a secret workshop. Here, art was studied, repaired, and cleaned. As years of grime were removed, the face of a young girl slowly emerged. It was a bored face, a grumpy face. Anna knew that young girl. She hurried to thank the attendant. "She's just like me," Anna told him, "or I'm just like her," which made the attendant smile. I think Maybe this is the girl. She looks a little bored, doesn't she? And there's a bunch of other women painted as well. And now something had changed. On the floor above, Anna danced patterns of her own. She felt color swirl around her. But it had been a long afternoon. Even her mother was ready to go home. Look how happy and excited she is. And here she's got like glowing sparkles of happiness above her. They took the fast way down. They're in the elevator, pausing only long enough for Anna to whisper to the lion, "I'll be back." Then they pushed open the wide gallery doors, and Anna skipped through, letting inside and out flow together. There she goes. Somebody's doing some chalk art on the ground. There's a dog chasing a bird. There's a sculpture. There's the lion on the banner outside. And here's some info about the art. So we'll find, here's this one by Claude Monet. It's called Bridge Over a Pond of Water Lilies. He painted in 1899 by Claude Monet, French, oil on canvas, and it's currently at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. So it has all the info for every painting in there, which is really cool. I love that they credit the artists. And here's the little girl that Anna really liked. It's called Little Girl in a Blue Armchair, painted by Mary Cassatt, American. The end. All right, so I think we are going to go up to the computer. Oops, what happened here? There we go. My phone didn't like me moving. Okay, we're over up at the computer here. Let me just prop you up here while I get this out of the sun, or try to anyways. All right, so I'm going to show you how to get to the virtual museums, and then I will let you kind of explore on your own, because it will be a lot more fun if you explore on your own versus me trying to show you on the computer, and then you can control the virtual tours as well. So when we are at our home page, so this is strathmorelibrary.ca, we go over to At Home Resources and we click Virtual Tours. So this takes us to the page of virtual tours. There's all kinds of things, not just museums. So we've got the Calgary Zoo, Royal Tyrrell Museum, farm tours, history museums, lots of cool stuff. This Boston Children's Museum is a neat one. I was watching or going through some of it this morning, but it really would be better in real life because it looks like it's very interactive. Here's one about Rome. You can go to Mars. And then there's the Louvre and the Guggenheim in New York, National Gallery of Art in Washington, Musée d'Orsay, Paris. Lots of awesome ones. So I thought we would check out the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam, because on Wednesday we talked about Van Gogh and we attempted to recreate one of his paintings, Starry Night. So if you haven't watched Nighttime Tales from this week, go check that out as well. It was fun. So then that link takes you to this virtual tour of Van Gogh's gallery here. So all of these, well, actually, I don't know. These don't all look like Van Gogh's. No, there are other things in here, I think. Or he has, oh, that one is Van Gogh. I don't know. I'm not sure if they were all his. Let's try and read this thing. It's hard to read the information beside the paintings. That's the only struggle here. Yeah, because if you click to get closer, it just takes you through the wall. But it is really cool to kind of tour around the different rooms in this gallery and try to check out all the different paintings. It is really useful because on this website, if we just click the direct link here, it takes us to this homepage. First of all, the architecture of this museum looks amazing, and there's some stories and things, but there's also like all these close-ups of the paintings. So if you wanted to look closer at anything, you can probably find the actual image on here, and then it's got the info. So self-portrait with pipe, this one's called, of Van Gogh, and it gives details. And yeah, there's lots of cool stuff to explore on here. So we'll go back to the room here, and I think, oh yeah, you can click these quick links too to see a view of certain things. So we'll click that one. There's a skeleton, and this one is fairly child friendly. Obviously, excuse me, I think obviously the most child friendly one I found is this Boston Children's Museum, because it is a museum for children, but like I said, a lot of it is something you would interact with in real life if you were in the museum. So like this thing, I think, I'm not sure, but I think you can actually crawl through it, at least at the bottom here maybe. So this museum is a little different from the one Anna explored in the book because it's made for children and you can touch everything and interact, so it's really cool. So this one is child friendly to explore. Some of these, I know there will be more mature content, so I would definitely, if you're the parent, check it out first to make sure it's okay for your child to explore around. But yeah, this Van Gogh one seems pretty safe. I haven't looked at all of the things, but just as a start. And yeah, I hope that interests you. I hope you have enjoyed our little journey learning about art this week. I love art, and ooh, there's a hair floating by. I love art, I love making art, I love going to museums and looking at art. I've actually been lucky enough to go to a lot of different museums around the world in my travels, and I could explore all day. So I hope my passion has come through, and maybe you're interested now in checking out some virtual tours. So thank you for watching this morning, and let me know if you are going to visit the virtual tour. I will leave the link in the comments below here as soon as I sign off, so that you can easily access that on our website. There's tons of other awesome resources on our website too for these days where we're stuck at home. So yeah, definitely explore our website and see what you can find. Thanks everybody, have a great Friday.